Hi guys, I'm Guritas, and today is going to be a discussion-based video about FIFA 23's content heading into this sort of endgame phase. Now, I'm not expecting any changes with this in the endgame of FIFA 23, but it would be absolutely fantastic to put the ideas out there and hopefully see some of these changes implemented in EAFC. Let's get into it. It's definitely important to say that I really want to get your guys' thoughts on this. So please give me your thoughts on any of the things that I address down below, any things that I don't address as well. I'd really like to get the community's sort of feel on the content in this game. First thing I want to talk about is the way EA price SBCs, and more specifically, the SBCs of players that are also attainable on the market. Icons are a really good example of this. So here I've got Ronaldinho and Pires. EA generally price these SBCs relative to the card's market price. So if this Ronaldinho is 4.5 million on the market, you can expect this SBC to cost you about 4.5 million's worth of resources, whether that be fodder or coins. The issue I have with that is I think when you're crafting or attaining an untradeable version of the card, you should be getting it at a discounted price. That should be the incentive. It's like, okay, you can't sell this one, but you're getting it for this price. So I think it would be fair to always sort of have cards craftable around 50% of their value. I think to say with this Pires card, say he was 1 million coins on the market, I think to say 500k's worth of resources that you can't get back, but you get 1 million coins worth of card. That's cool. That's how I think it should be. 500k's worth that you'll never get back, but you get 1 million coin card. That should be the incentive to do an SBC of a card that isn't on the market. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand that even at the same value, you can craft these cards that you can't afford on the market because you get so much fodder. And that is very true, but I don't think it should be up to the level of a card that you can sell and recoup almost all of the funds for. I will say, I wouldn't have an issue with them pricing it the same as the market if the packs that you got back equated to a decent sum. So say Pires is a 500k SBC, but you get 250k's worth of packs back. Say you get 450k's and a couple of 25k's. Therefore, 500k SBC, 250k's worth of packs back, you can't knock it. Let me know your guys' thoughts on that one, whether they should be pricing SBC players that are available on the market at a more accessible price. I understand if some of you guys think it is fair because it is craftable via fodder, but that's why I want to get your thoughts. I'm curious to see what you guys think. The next thing I want to talk about that sort of ties in with the whole market value of pricing things, and an icon player pick is a great example of this. EA re-released this icon player pick, but they actually re-released it at a higher requirement, so the kind of liquid value of what it costs is the same as before. Fodder went down, so they increased the requirement, so it was kind of, coin-wise, worth about the same. I don't think that's fair, because the further into the game you get, whatever you get out of this pick is worth less. So you shouldn't be paying more, or at the bare minimum, you shouldn't even really be paying the same. If what you're able to get out of the pick is worth less, you should be paying less. On top of this, with these icon player picks in particular, I always find that these gamble picks that we get, the things that it consists of are always from previous promos. They're never the current thing. So we're always getting these sort of gamble picks of things that aren't really that relative anymore. Like these icon picks are Trophy Titans, Foot Birthdays, Team of the Year, or Prime Icons. At this stage of the game, I don't think we should be getting Primes in these, and we should definitely have the Shapeshifter icons in them. And at this stage of the game, I'd really like to see like a 1 of 5 pick. Because at the end of the day, we don't choose who those 5 are. We still might not get something that's that usable. I see no harm in having this as a 1 of 5 pick, and just literally having the current most relevant icons, which are the Shapeshifter ones. I see no issue with that. I think it keeps the content fresh relative. You know, Level Up's currently out. Say if they bring out Level Up icons, I want to see Level Up icons in the picks that are also current. You know, it should be up to date. We shouldn't be having content that relates to stuff from the past. It's fine to throw them in there, but have the current stuff in there as well, you know? The next thing that I want to talk about, again, ties in with what I was just saying, the kind of relevancy of the content that we're getting. Now, like the picks, kind of giving you rewards that aren't relevant to what's going on now, it's the same with like our Reds in Foot Champs. Even throughout the year, I never understood why the Reds were always the Team of the Week players. Just make it whatever the current promo is. Because Team of the Weeks go behind the curve very quickly, you know? And currently, even getting these eFigs picks, which consist of Team of the Season or Team of the Season Moments players, we're even now getting to a point where, unless you get really lucky, whoever you get, it's kind of just fodder. There's not really loads of Team of the Season players that just slot into our teams now. Shapeshifters definitely up the curve a bit, and these new level up cards that are coming out, a lot of them are really fantastic, especially the upgraded versions. So I think with champs, just reward-wise, just make the red picks in particular just whatever the current promo is. The weight on red picks in general isn't great anyway, so it's not like we're all going to get the best ones, but at least give us something that's relative, something that feels like is current, that we're actually excited about. Even if we got like a cheap one, I think if it was a current promo card, I'd still be excited to try it. I think that definitely applies to like squad battles and Div Rivals rewards as well, but I think because Champs has a red pick system where you're actually given a specific type of card, I really think that is the key place to kind of apply the current promo as rewards, and I think that'd be really good. Next, I want to talk about compensation, still sort of tying it in with the rewards. Probably like a month ago now, there was an issue where the Team of the Season 3 player packs that you get for 14 wins or more were coming out as reds. So what EA did was they removed the pack from the rewards. And everyone is still waiting on that. Like, it's been like a month. Now, if you're like me and you got a 16 plus wins 3 player pack that would have been tradable, a big part of what makes that valuable is you get liquid coins from it because you get those players, you can sell them on. Now, Team of the Season cards, when we would have got that pack, were going for like 70,000 coins. So even if I got the 3 worst Team of the Season cards in the promo, I'd have still guaranteed myself like 200k. When we eventually get these packs, I mean, you can pick up Team of the Season cards now for like 20k. So, like, what I'm actually guaranteeing myself as a reward is so much less than what I would have got relative to when I should have got it. So that is something where compensation is concerned, is where if they're going to take a long time to give it, they need to adjust the compensation accordingly. I'm not one of these people that always calls out, oh, compensation because you got this wrong, compensation because you got this wrong. But on this one, where they're taking a long time to resolve it, you need to adjust it, because me guaranteeing myself 60k for something I should have got a month ago that would have got me like 200k, that makes a big difference. The next thing that I want to talk about is the current level up promo. Now, I will say right now, I love this. I think this is such a brilliant idea at its core. The idea of attaining cards and through gameplay getting a better version of that card, I think that is absolutely fantastic. And for a mode like Ultimate Team, I think this is what it should be about a lot of the time, all year through. I think there should always be the potential to upgrade cards that you're playing a lot with. That's great. The first thing with this that I think they kind of just could have adjusted to make it better is that when you look at these cards, right, we'll take this De Bruyne because this is definitely the most premium card here. I think any of these should be attainable to anyone if they're willing to grind and put the time in. Now, rather than these being attainable, the lower versions being attainable via the market and then upgradable via an objective, I think the way this should have been done is all of these, their lower versions, should have been released as SBCs. They could have released this De Bruyne as like a 2 million coin SBC, the 98 version. So people, through grinding fodder, through the menus, which there is a lot of, which is also very, very good, something I really like about this year's game, have like a 2 million coin 98 De Bruyne that you've got to grind and grind and grind to get all the fodder to craft that De Bruyne. And then with that De Bruyne, have this kind of objective to then attain the 99 version. Because that's something that through time and effort is accessible to anybody. You can pick and choose which SBC you want to throw your resources into, and then once you've attained that card, you can then do the objective, put the time in, and get the card that you want. With the way this is currently formatted, with De Bruyne for example, this just makes the rich richer, because those who don't have 15 million coins just sitting on their coin balance to buy the market version of De Bruyne to do this objective are basically just not going to be able to attain this card in any feasible time whatsoever. The problem is like, if you're someone with lots of coins, you could literally buy De Bruyne, do the objective, sell him. Buy Renato, do the objective, sell him, and you could literally end up with this monster team without really losing many coins. You'd pretty much just be losing tax on the cards. But if you're someone like me who doesn't have loads of liquid coins, you're kind of just stuck to kind of attain the cards that are quite parallel to cards you've already got on your team and do those. I think these should be accessible to anybody, but if you want the more desirable cards like a De Bruyne or a Renato Sanchez, you should have to do a high requirement via an SBC, because that is something everyone can do with time, and then still do the objective afterwards to grind out and get the even better version. That's how I think it should have been. It's a minor tweak, but I think it would have made all the difference, because you'd have so many people now engaged on the game, absolutely grinding to get all these different objective packs and stuff to get the fodder to do the De Bruyne card, and then once they've got that, they'd be grinding out the games to try and get this better version. That just seems like a much healthier, inclusive way of doing this. But this is a really promising start. It's things like this that allow us to give EA our feedback and improve upon it. So I love this concept, but I definitely think making it draftable right from the start and not being a market-based thing would be an even bigger improvement on it. That's everything from me for today, guys. Like I say, this isn't about hammering EA or being negative. This is just kind of about acknowledging what we have and what more we want out of it, and things that you kind of would love to see in the new game going forward. Like I say, I love the current level up thing, but I definitely think with a tweak it'd be even better. I definitely like to see a revamp on rewards. They stay relative, and I kind of want that relative kind of nature to also be applied to the gamble picks that we get, to the SBCs, just in general. Just keep it all relative. We don't want content that kind of dwells in the past, you know? Let me know your thoughts down below. I'd love to hear what you guys want to see more of in the new game. If you did make it this far in the video and managed to listen to me waffling for all this time, then absolutely fair play to you, and thank you. I really appreciate your time. If you did enjoy it, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and turn your bell on. Take care, guys.